My psychopathic tendencies, they seem to get the best of me. I love to break your heart, you see. Just stay the hell away from me. My psychopathic tendencies, they seem to get the best of me. I love to break your heart.
Happy morning, guys. Today's a pretty normal Tuesday morning and I'm getting ready for the day, so I thought why not just chat with you while I'm getting ready. I'm sure you've all seen those Vogue videos where like a celebrity gets ready in their bathroom and puts like 20,000 products on their face. I love those videos. I think they're so soothing for some reason. I found this phone case for 20 pounds that attaches to mirrors and I was about to buy it, but then I remembered blue tack. I live in central London, so there are always noises. I'm sorry, I hope they disappear. So yeah, if you want to film a video like this as well, just put some blue tack on your phone case and just do it. Let's democratize this shit. This is the middle of the semester and this is the time when all the motivation for classes just kind of evaporates and it has to be self-induced. Spending a few extra hours sleeping and spending a few minutes extra getting ready gives me that energy that I need, you know? Oh, thank you. I had a pretty nice morning. I slept in, I FaceTimed my boyfriend, I had breakfast, I showered, which is why my hair is still wet, and now it's time for skincare. I never had acne until I started college, or uni. And so that was pretty big news to me because no one in my family has ever had acne and I would have like an occasional pimple but never like everywhere on my face. So while studying at Minerva, I think the fact that I travel so much doesn't help either because every time my body just has to readjust to the food, the air, the water, especially because skin is so closely related to the microbiome, just like everything else in the body pretty much. And obviously all of those factors affect the microbiome, especially stress. I've tried Korean skincare when I was in Seoul and after. I've used it for quite a while and it just didn't help me. I think it helped me battle the breakouts, like make them better, but then it didn't prevent them from happening again and again. I know Korean skincare works for some people amazingly. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying that every skin is different. I was also vegan for almost 2 years, and even when I ate whole foods, super healthy, I still would get breakouts. I just learned that my skin gets the worst when I don't sleep enough, when I'm stressed, and depending on the hormonal cycle. Anyways, the things that I'm using now that I absolutely love are from this tiny Russian brand. And this skincare is produced somewhere in the countryside of Russia. My mom accidentally found them when she was traveling. This literally has chamomile, avocado, peach oils, and aloe vera, and it's perfect. So I just mix it with this hydrolat, which is kind of like a flower extract. So I apply it in the morning, I apply it at night, and it has helped my skin more than anything else I've used. And the fact that it's a very small batch, and they also collect a lot of the flowers and they make a lot of the oils themselves, it just makes my skin happy for some reason. Maybe it's placebo, but I don't think so. Is there anything better than hot coffee in the morning? I don't think so. Next up is makeup. I don't wear makeup every day, but sometimes I do. Another huge thing that has helped my skin is mineral makeup. My skin doesn't react to mineral makeup. It doesn't clog my pores, and it's awesome. Fast forward because I realized that the last 10 minutes were not recording. I like using these two brands. This one is called Alverde. It's from Germany and I just found it in a regular drugstore. It's called DM. And this is a liquid mineral foundation. And this one is a powder mineral foundation from a Russian brand called Samotsvet. And they're from St. Petersburg and they're quite small but they're growing really fast. So I've noticed that even when my skin isn't happy, this stuff doesn't make it worse. Today I felt like using the liquid foundation and I just applied it all over my face with my warm hands, and then I used a powder foundation under my eyes because it's a bit lighter. And now we're moving on to, what do you call it? Contour. Guess what? It's also from Alverde. I had it for over a year, so there's nothing inside, but I can still scoop it out. You know, I think something that a lot of people will find surprising about me is that I'm actually a very private person. I tend to ask more questions. I tend to ask more questions and listen instead of talk myself oftentimes. It definitely comes from something my mom taught me. There's a saying in Russian that goes, silence is gold. And she always told me that there's so much I can learn from just being silent and listening, and I've carried that with me, and I dare say I have learned a lot, and I think it's something that has helped me make very meaningful connections with people. The flip side of that is that because we all love to talk about ourselves so much, like I do it all the time, sometimes people get really caught up in that and they don't reciprocate, which is fine. But that has led me to realize that with some of my acquaintances, I know more about them that they know about me. I really love products that are multifunctional, so I'm just gonna use the same contour stick to add some depth to my eyes and pretend that it's eyeshadow. Another lesson that my family has taught me is that whatever happens in the house stays in the house. Of course, that does not relate to like abuse or times when a person needs outside help. That's not what it's about. It's just about the fact that it's important to have privacy in the most important relationships in your life. And so I rarely talk about my family, and I really try to extrapolate the same thing to my close friendships and into my personal romantic life. And that way people can't speculate anything about you, or if they do, it's based on nothing, and so it doesn't affect you. I've definitely made the mistake of oversharing on social media before, but luckily that was when I had like 200 followers. And I've also opened up to some people that I don't think was wise to, but I've learned my lesson. It's just like, you know, that feeling when you share a lot with someone and then you feel very uncomfortable. There's just like this uneasy feeling in the body. I hate that feeling. So I try to never have that again. I also like to outline my lips a little bit. I mean, I used to be able to do it much better when there was actually my product in it. I find it so weird that to be successful on social media, you kind of need to like share our lives away. The only reason I think why I enjoy doing that is because I love the creative part of it, like capturing moments, editing, thinking of captions. It's kind of like a blog, a book that never ends, you know? And the other huge part of it is just all the friends I've made through social media. I love it when the interactions online go into personal interactions. Because after all, I think we're just on this planet to get to know ourselves and to connect with people that make us feel alive. And social media can be a great way to get your energy out there and then attract people to that energy who resonate with it. It's like an amplifier, and I love it. Next up, I feel like using some of that mineral powder foundation again and just applying it under here to sculpt my cheeks a little bit. Also, another thing about makeup is that I really don't mind my skin showing through. Like, I really don't mind it when you can still see blemishes on my skin or when it's not perfect. Like, it's my face, you know. Next up, another favorite product of mine is this lipstick, also from Sviet. And this one also has very, very simple ingredients. It's just mango oil, rice wax, the color, cocoa oil, avocado oil. So I just love to apply it on my lips and on my cheeks. You know, guys, something else I've been thinking about more recently is loneliness and where I am in life. In terms of that, because I feel like when I was first starting Minerva, my university program, I was so excited to leave home. I had nothing attached to me so strongly, no anchors, so to speak, and every new move felt like a new possibility, and it still does, obviously, but before I just couldn't wait to leave the nest and then keep moving and moving. And although sometimes it was very difficult, it was also very fun. But now I feel like I do have some anchors, and this year has made me reevaluate the relationships in my life. I want to be close to my family. That is my anchor, my happy anchor. I want to see them more often. Same thing with my relationship. I found my person while traveling, so I kind of owe Minerva my relationship. Not even to mention all the friends I've made around the world. Now I'm less excited about moving to the next city just because I think about how far it's gonna be, or I think about that I'm gonna miss my closest people. So even now that I'm in London, I feel like I was very, very excited the first month and a half, but now I'm like, I don't know. I'm just thinking about what's the point of seeing the world and making all those memories if you can't share them with the ones who mean the most to you. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I just need to appreciate everything more. I also feel like my views are much less westernized right now, which I'm really, really appreciate as well. Because I remember when I first moved to the US when I was 15, I thought it was the most perfect country in the world because that was kind of like, oh wait, I want to do my powder first. Mineral powder. just to set some things in place. I first moved to the US when I was 15. I did an exchange program at a local high school, and I lived in a host family, and the whole thing cost me nothing because it was founded by the US Department of State. And you know, when you're younger, you're very excited, you want this super competitive thing, but then when you're older, you sort of wonder, why does America bring teenagers for free and then makes them go back to the countries and spread the American values? Like, that sounded totally normal for me back then, but now I'm just kind of like, Luckily, my experience was really great. I had an amazing host family, but that's not the point. The point is that I had a very idealist vision of what the Western world was like, and true, it's very convenient, accessible, etc., but it's in no way better than places like Asia or South America, even Russia. I think I got to appreciate my home and everything it represents after living abroad much, much more, because guess what? Every place has a lot of problems, and every place has amazing things about it as well. And I think seeing real life also makes me very meh about social media, because my social media is in English and it's mostly like Western perspectives of the virus, of the quarantine. The issues that are considered the most important in the world are identified by the Westerners. Yeah, anyways, next thing is my eyebrows. I remember the time when the very thin eyebrows were on trend, and I always made fun of my eyebrows and not plucking them in middle school. The girls were like, ew, big eyebrows, why don't you pluck them? And then Cara Delevingne became the thing, so everybody started growing their eyebrows back. I just felt amazed by how quickly the ties changed and the bullies became the jealous ones. You know, guys, I can't wait to have children of my own someday, or like children I adopt, same thing, to like teach them everything I know and learn from them as they grow up. I feel like before, when I was a teenager, saying that I want to have kids of my own someday, to me it felt like anti-feminist, especially because at the time I was surrounded by women who were saying that they will never want to have children because they want to be like self-realized and self-actualized. I was in the US and I just felt like my values were kind of backwards, like wanting children was kind of anti-feminist and backwards because I wanted like a more traditional family, I guess. But then I grew up and I realized that feminism is about choice, and if somebody wants to have children, that's amazing. If somebody doesn't want to have children, that's amazing. It's just about having the choice to do so. And now I feel like I can openly say I want to have kids someday and not feel bad about it. And it's just such a weird thing that I even felt bad about it, you know? I also remember the time when people were saying that having children is like a bad decision because of overpopulation, and I'm really happy that we stopped the conversation about overpopulation. It's not as popular nowadays because we sort of all realize that there's enough resources for everyone. It's just that their distribution that sucks. And I just really hated, even when I was a teenager, this whole thing about overpopulation, putting the blame on the traditionally developing countries that have a lot of kids. To be honest, when I look back, there's been so much progress in like culture. Okay, I actually ran out of eyebrow gel, but I'll try to scoop some out. You know what's weird? I thought about how I ran out of eyebrow gel, and then I started seeing ads for eyebrow gels, and I guess the algorithm just figured out when I would run out based on the time of this purchase, which is kind of inspiring but also scary when you think about how great the algorithms are right now. We're discussing it in my business class, that the algorithms are so good that they creep people out. And it makes sense to like lower their capacity just to make people trust the brands more. You know, sometimes I wonder how different the world would be if social media platforms, when they were just starting out, if instead of choosing the ad-based model, they chose something else, like a subscription-based model, or something that wouldn't require selling people's attention to advertisers to make money. Like, imagine how different the world would be. No branded content, no constant ads on the feed and on stories on Instagram. Says a hypocrite, because this video probably has ads on it. But I'm just saying, imagine. I think my eyebrows are kind of done. Just want to add more color and definition with a lip liner. Might have gotten a little overboard, but I like it. It's kind of like a full mood. I'm just gonna use an eyelash curl. It makes the whole difference. When I was younger, some people literally thought that my mom was putting mascara on me, and she had to like defend herself and explain that she doesn't. Ta-da! See? Makes so much difference. And the very last thing I'm gonna do is apply this Hydrolat because my skin is pretty dry right now. I love to apply it throughout the day, so I keep it on my desk sometimes so I can just whenever I need a little refreshment. And this is just a berry hydrolat, like an extract and water. Just very, very simple. Okay, the very last step is perfume. Obviously, I can't live without perfume. I almost ran out of this one. It's by Givenchy. I don't know if it's a thing in other countries, but in Russia, it's kind of like your uncles or like family friends. They gift you perfume when they come to the house or like as presents. So the first time I bought myself perfume was like last year. But then I went home over the summer and I got some new presents. So this is a finished look. I feel really good and ready for the day. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this little chat. I'm gonna go open my laptop, do some emails, maybe go for a walk before my meeting. I love you all so much. I hope that you're having a great, beautiful, magical day. And I hope you're taking care of yourselves. No matter how busy school or university or work is, you are the main priority. So spend a few minutes extra on yourself because you are all that matters. You're not here on this planet to work or to learn things so you can apply them at work. You're here to enjoy life. Don't forget.
I love to break your heart.